Hey guys, Lingo here, and here is another video that's requested by one of my clients. He wanted to know the attachments of the guns that I recommended him, and also at the end of the video, near the end, middle of the video, I'll be showing you the guns that I am currently using for Warzone. Again, none of these guns will actually be meta weapons, so these are not like the best guns with the highest TTK values. I'll talk about why I recommend these guns at the end. But anyways, Kilo, I recommend the monolithic suppressor. The second attachment is going to be the barrel, which is going to be 19-point Prowler. The third attachment will be the optic, which is VLK 3.0. And then on the barrel will be the Commando foregrip. And then the last attachment is obviously going to be ammunition. I recommend doing the 60 round magazine. If you're playing solos or duos, I guess you could get away with 50 round magazine. But I always rock the 60. It works out pretty good. The secondary weapon, we're going to go with MP5. The barrel is going to be monolithic integral suppressor. The next attachment will be the stock F-TAC collapsible. The third one will be Merc foregrip for the underbarrel. And ammunition will be 45 round magazine. And then the last attachment is going to be rear grip, which is stipple grip tape. Again, if this is the loadout that you want to run, you'll make another loadout and use ghosts. Here is the attachment for overkill class though. EOD for the first one, the second one will be overkill, the third one is going to be amped, so you can switch your weapons very quickly. Lethal, the one that I'm using currently is Simtax, but you can also go with Thermite. You can go with Proximity Mine or Claymore 2 if you want to play a little bit more defensive near the mid game or end game. For tactical, I recommend the heartbeat sensor or the stun grenade. Those two are viable. Again, you'll also make the same exact loadout class, but make sure you get the ghost. So, you know, the first loadout you buy is going to be overkill. The second loadout that you get for free, you can go ahead and get ghost. And obviously yours just switch your weapons off. So let's go ahead and talk about the gun that I am currently using. So I'm using M4A1 with Mac-10. M4A1, here are my attachments. The first one is monolithic suppressor. You always need that. The barrel is the second one, stock M16. Optic is VLK 3.0. And then on the barrel is Commando foregrip. And ammunition 60 round magazine. And then for my secondary, or I flipped it, but anyways, it's Mac-10 agency suppressor. Barrel will be the last one, 5.9 task force. And the stock will be no stock. I built it for a close range, very mobile. On the barrel, it's the last one, SFDD speed grip. And ammunition is the last one. The drum one is also okay too. I can't really determine which one is better. I'm thinking the last one is a little bit better though. But anyways, this is my Mac-10. I built it strictly for very close range combat and mobility in hand. So that is how I built my current class. Again, same perks except for the third one. I have tracker instead of amped. Same lethal. And then here is my ultimate M4A1. This is something that's for my ghost class. It's monolithic suppressor. The barrel is Corvus custom marksman instead of the stock M16. Commando foregrip for the underbarrel. Ammunition 60 round magazine. And stock is no stock. Again, this is my M4A1 that I'm always using because I'm constantly training myself. I'm not using this gun. Again, I love M4A1 just because I used to play Counter-Strike, and M4A1 is the gun I always use in Counter-Strike, so I'm kind of attached to it. That's why I'm always using M4A1, different versions of it. But again, M4A1 is definitely not the meta, and it's also not the weakest gun. M4A1 is always that gun where it's always kind of viable. But here is my, if I'm going for snipes, I like the Kar 98 monolithic suppressor. Barrel is the last one, the 27-inch, and then tac laser. I go with sniper scope, and the last one is stipple grip tape. That is my class for a Kar 98. I also have one that's HDR, but I don't really snipe with the HDR anymore. I go with Kar 98. The weapon that I go with Car 98 is actually a MP4. I don't know if I actually go in. Yep, I do. So this is my MP4 class. MP7 actually. Monolithic suppressor. Laser is 5 MW laser. Stock is no stock. And under barrel is Ranger foregrip. Ammunition 60 round magazine. This is a very fun weapon to use. Again, this is definitely not like the best gun. It's just incredibly fun to use. I love it. You basically just kind of run around hip firing people. It has the hips fire accuracy on this gun is pretty good. I really love it. This gun with the Car 98, I use this when I just want to go out there and have fun. It's really fun. Both of these guns, Car 98, those quick scopes, love it. And this gun where you just run around hip firing, you don't even ADS much. I just really enjoy these two classes. So one thing that you guys want to know is that I actually don't really use my own loadout anyways. What I actually do is I'm always constantly training myself and trying to get myself better. So this M4A1 here with no stock, once you can control it, you can basically control any other guns. And what I do is, when I keep saying I don't use my own loadout, is once I kill an enemy that they have a loadout weapon, and no matter if it's good or bad, I'll always switch my loadout weapons for theirs, and I'll be using their loadout weapons instead. So I'm constantly using other people's loadout weapons. I'm never really using my own. Now the only time that I won't pick up someone's loadout weapon if it doesn't have a monolithic suppressor. If it's that bad of a build, I won't be using it. But if it's a funky build but it has like monolithic suppressor, like the viable stuff, I will be actually using it. That's just something that I always do. I don't want to get myself in a way that I'm always, you know, wanting my certain loadout weapons. You know, you're always using the same guns over and over. Like, you're never really practicing. You, like, if there's a situation where you have to pick up some other player's loadout weapon, and because you've been using some very easy loadout weapons, then you can't use any other player's loadout weapons, so that makes sense. So that's why I'm constantly using an M4A1 with no stock, because it's a viable gun and it has insane recoil control. So I'm constantly practicing myself to always have a high skill level of recoil control abilities. So when I'm using other players' guns, I will always be able to control theirs. You don't want to be the guy who uses the easiest gun and then have to use a hard gun and you're screwing it up. You want to be the guy who uses the hardest one and pick up any gun and be, you know, perfectly good at it. So that's the reason. And another reason why I recommend using Kilo and MP5 instead of the meta weapons is because you don't always look at the TTK value of a gun. Sometimes you just want to look at if you can actually control the gun and master the gun. So again, Kilo and MP5 is definitely the gun that I would recommend you to master first. Again, these are really for my clients. You guys know what I'm talking about. I showed you guys how you can master the gun. You go to a custom game, target practice, your recoil control. I showed you methods that you can train for it. Master the gun to perfection and then switch it to some other guns like AK-47, M4A1, AMAX, Ram 7, Growl, blah blah blah. Master all the guns. Your priority is to not just stay with one gun and only know one gun. You actually want to master all the guns. So in case for those of you who doesn't know what TTK values are, that is just basically time to kill values. So currently I don't really know what the meta gun is because I haven't been doing a lot of research, but from my experience, because again I pick up random guns all the time, and I'm thinking AMAX might be the highest TTK value gun right now. The next one might be DMR 14, believe it or not, even though they did nerf it. Again, I don't have concrete evidence. I don't have any data or anything to support it. This is just based off of my experience because I pick up some DMR sometimes, and you know, it's a little harder to actually hit the shots, but if you can actually hit the shots, they still kill pretty quickly. The TTK value for that gun must be pretty high. Another gun might be Growl. Growl seems okay too. AMAX seems to have a higher TTK value though. I think AMAX is probably the highest right now. I'm not sure. That's based off what my experience, because I do pick up random guns all the time. But anyways, sometimes don't look at the TTK value first, because even though AMAX might have the highest TTK, if you can't land your shots, there's really no point. You know, it's like, let's say if you can only land 3 of your shots with AMAX, but with a kilo you can land like 10 shots. Well, a kilo is way better for you then. That's why, again, I recommend kilo for beginners who's trying to adapt. I don't really know what the KD range is, but if I had to suspect, I would say if your KD is like, I would say less than 1.1, then don't worry too much about the meta weapons with the TTK and all that stuff. You want to worry more about controlling the gun and perfecting the gun. Once you perfect the kilo, then you want to perfect other guns. Always just keep that in mind. Target practice is the key, and always perfect one guy first to perfection and then move. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and really do appreciate all the support. And if you like this video, do me a favor, just hit the like button. It really helps the channel out, and I'll see you guys next time. In about a day or 2 days after this video is uploaded, I'm also going to be uploading the positioning skill. I will have more time tomorrow, and I'm going to be working on that, and then have that video hopefully released either by tomorrow or the next day after that. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you guys next time.